News that's coming in. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will lead the Indian delegation to Pakistan for the SCO summit, which will take place from October 15th and 16th. Now, remember, the SCO summit is a key security multilateral platform with nations like Russia, China, along with other Central Asian nations. And the big news that's coming in is that External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will lead the Indian delegation to Pakistan for the SCO summit in the middle of October. That's 15th and the 16th of October. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Siddhant on the broadcast. Siddhant, a huge move coming in from the Modi government, where External Affairs Minister, after all the criticism of Pakistan exporting terror to India, namely Jammu and Kashmir, now he will lead the SCO delegation to Pakistan. S. Jaishankar likely to make that same message on Pakistani soil.
Well, absolutely. Look, first of all, it's very important to highlight that it's a multilateral event, and India is committed itself for the multilateral event, and perhaps in that spirit, EM Jaishankar will be visiting Pakistan to attend SCO summit. Also, EM Jaishankar has made India's position very, very clear while speaking from the dais in United Nations, and he perhaps said that all India and Pakistan will talk about the territory that has been occupied by Pakistan. That is perhaps the official position of India when it comes to having a dialogue with Pakistan. So position is already clear. There is a commitment for the multilateral event, which India is fulfilling. And in that spirit only, EM S. Jaishankar will be visiting Islamabad for the SCO summit. In fact, at the ministerial level, and sources have told this to us, that there were multiple deliberations also that who needs to be sent and who should lead the delegation. But, finally it has been decided that it will be EM S. Jaishankar who will be leading the delegation to Pakistan. Perhaps for the first time since the fresh tensions between the two countries, any senior minister, and that to a foreign minister of India, is visiting Pakistan for the first time.
Right, but this will also turn the politics back home on its head completely, Siddhant, given the fact that the BJP has come out heavily against the National Conference and as well as the Congress Party, who are in alliance in Jammu and Kashmir, because the National Conference has advocated for talks with Pakistan. Now that S. Jaishankar is going to Pakistan for the SCO summit, this will, it'll lead to a huge political storm over here, with the opposition will now point fingers at the Modi government.
Well, look, as I told before, that first it's a multilateral event. So, there's not going to be any bilateral with Pakistan. Point number one. Point number two, if Pakistan wants to hold bilateral meeting with India, then for that they have to first agree to what India is saying, which is that any talks will happen only on the issue of Pakistan, the territory that has been occupied by Pakistan. Third, and the most important bit, yes, the political parties will try to take the mileage of this particular visit of EM Jaishankar to Pakistan. But one needs to understand this, that SCO is a multilateral event. India is a very strong member of SCO, and perhaps it's very important for India to be represented at a senior level for a multilateral event. And for that purpose only, EM S. Jaishankar will be going to Pakistan. It will mostly be a one-day affair, not more than that. This is what the sources are indicating to us. And there is very less. There won't be any talks with Pakistan, perhaps on the sidelines of SCO. There won't be any bilateral talks between the two countries. This is what the sources are indicating us. Because the position of India is very, very clear, and perhaps it has been cleared by EM S. Jaishankar from the dais of United Nations General Assembly.
Right, but Siddhant, so the optics are then extremely critical when it comes to this meeting, which will take place, the SCO summit, as you're talking in Pakistan. The optics, as I'm saying, will be extremely critical, and the entire movement of the entire delegation, including S. Jaishankar, will have to be carefully curated. You're underlining the point that there will be no bilateral between India and Pakistan. But at the same time, that is something that the Modi government will have to underline, because clearly the opposition will take the opportunity to hit out at the Modi government over this meeting, which is going to take place at the SCO summit. Clearly no bilateral with Pakistan. It's a multilateral summit, very clearly being established by my colleague Siddhant over there. But the entire optics of this meeting inside Pakistan will have to be carefully curated by the Ministry of External Affairs. I'm also joined by Ashok Sajjanar, former diplomat, on the broadcast. Mr. Sajjanar, thank you for joining us on CNN News 18. How do you see this big announcement coming in from the Modi government? External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, one of the key proponents of a hardline stand, one of the faces of the Modi government's hardline stand on Pakistan, now leading the Indian delegation for the SCO summit to Pakistan.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. You see, it is that hardline stand is not going to get diluted by the presence of Dr. Jaishankar. Let's face it, ever since India became a member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, at every such meeting, it has been either the External Affairs Minister or the Defense Minister who has gone in for this. This is the head of government meeting. This is number 2 in the pecking order as far as the SCO is concerned. The highest is the head of state, in which all the presidents of the countries, and of course from India it's always the Prime Minister who participates. But in the heads of government meetings, Prime Minister himself has never gone. It's only the External Affairs Minister or the Defense Minister who have been deputed. So in all the countries, this is, by rotation it happens. This time it is happening in Pakistan. So it is a multilateral meeting. It's a plurilateral meeting. It has no bilateral content whatsoever. And so the presence of Dr. Jaishankar in Islamabad for this meeting, I'm sure it's going to be a brief visit. He is going to use that opportunity to interact with his counterparts and with other members, barring Pakistan, which is the host government. And it will have no bilateral component as far as Dr. Jaishankar's visit is concerned. So I don't think that the stand of the Indian government that no talks before Pakistan stops aiding and abetting terror in India, that stance is going to get diluted in any way.
Right, but Mr. Sajjanar, you and I have discussed this in the past as well, that how optics is central to diplomacy. Now, when it comes to handshakes in Pakistan, to photo ops, how conscious is the MEA of the optics angle when it comes to this visit to Pakistan?
We can do namaste. We don't need to get into handshakes. You would remember that last year when the SCO foreign ministers meeting took place in May in Goa, the External Affairs Minister was very clear about it, when he received Bilawal Bhutto. So it was just namaste, no handshakes, and it was a perfunctory namaste, and that was the end of it.
Right, and
so you're right, meaning, optics has its own symbolic significance and value, but I'm sure Dr. Jaishankar, having been in this trade and this business for several decades, he will know exactly how to handle the situation.
Absolutely. And of course, he's a veteran of diplomacy and he knows how to handle the situation, Mr. Sajjanar. But the point that the Modi government has made for years now, and primarily which has become the cornerstone of the Modi government's policy towards Pakistan, the iron fist policy, S. Jaishankar, to blunt any kind of attack coming in from the opposition, has to make that point emphatically inside Pakistan.
No, absolutely. And I think whether it is statements or it is body language or interactions, I'm sure in every sense of the word, his visit and his movements there will be choreographed appropriately so that, the opposition does not get any fodder for criticizing the government. But all that notwithstanding, the opposition will do what it does, what it has to do. But I think the government is on very sure footing, very strong footing, that these are global commitments, these are international commitments that India cannot shirk from. And, if India had not sent anyone and if India had participated virtually, that also would have sent out a very wrong message saying that, India is afraid, within inverted commas, or nervous to go to Pakistan. That's not the case. If it's a multilateral meeting, we will go wherever the meeting takes place. we will put forward our point of view. The SCO is much beyond Pakistan. I think that is what needs to be understood. That SCO is not limited to the country where it takes place. It is much beyond Pakistan. We have very many interests in SCO which go beyond Pakistan or even go beyond China, because now we'll have to see next year the summit takes place in China. So looking at the state of relations between India and China, what it is, as to how
Absolutely.
things will pan out next year.
Mr.
But these are the things that any mature government has to take it in its stride.
Absolutely, but everything.
Make informed decisions with comprehensive analysis on the go.
Strengthen your portfolio with real-time market updates on the go. Create effective strategies with insightful expert opinions on the go.
Grow on the go with CNBC TV 18, now streaming live 24/7 on YouTube.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV 18 on all of our digital platforms.